Hello, Super Duper Squad, and thank you for joining me for another deck tech. Today, we have one from our good friend over on Twitter. I forget how to say their name. I think it's buddiilein? Buddiilein? but they are over on Twitter. They're a top-tier player, and they enjoy cooking decks. This is actually kind of just a take on an old classic called Shuri Red Skull. Way back when, probably now about a year ago, when Shuri was running rampant in Snap and was pretty much the card you needed to get to infinite / the card you needed to be really good in the game because it was just so powerful. But I'll have all of their information in the description below, along with the deck code and all of that good stuff, so you guys can get all that information. But let's get right on into it. I'm just going to go over every card as per usual. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as per usual again. And also check me out over on Twitch and on Twitter. I do stream about 3 to 4 times a day, and I like to post content over on Twitter about Marvel Snap. So make sure to check me out on those platforms. And again, hope you enjoy the video. So let's get right into it, and then we'll get into the games. So our first card here we have is Ghost Spider. So this card is fantastic, specifically for moving out your Red Skull when you Shuri it, so that people can't, or they do whiff on playing Shang-Chi, so it can kind of play around that. That's your biggest play with this card. Other than that, you don't want to play this card early in any sense of the word. And then on top of that, we have, whoopsie, next card is Zero. So Zero here you want to play, if you can't hit your Sauron, then you want to go ahead and use Zero on either your Typhoid Mary or your Red Skull, so that you can still at least play the card. You don't necessarily need Shuri in order to win with this deck, but nowadays with just big cards like Hela coming out and dropping a bunch of power, Tribunal dropping a bunch of power, Thanos lockjawing in a bunch of things. There's just a lot of decks out there that create big power. But this deck can hold with the rest of them as long as you are just smart with your games, and we'll see that when we play our matches. Ebony Maw here. This is actually a good target too for the Zero if you want to go ahead and hit it with this. So that you can go ahead and play this on the board. A 1/7 is crazy stats. You just have to be worried about things like, I know Elektra isn't played much, but she can destroy this. Also, you've got Killmonger that can also take it out. So you just got to be careful with that. And then we also have our friendly neighborhood Armor, who's there to protect our Typhoid Mary, along with our Red Skull, and anything else we Shuri. Like if we do Shuri, obviously it protects, Taskmaster, it protects Vision. If you Shuri it, it protects your Call Obsidian in this deck. So there's a lot of things that would like to be under the umbrella of the protection from the armor. So of course, a fantastic play here on turn 2. You really do want this on the field. If you don't, you could be in trouble depending on what your opponent's running, obviously. But most decks do run Shang-Chi, so it is almost inevitable that if you don't have this on the field, you have to be worried about Shang. Sauron is fantastic. If you get Sauron and you get to play him on turn 3 or turn 4, most of the time on turn 3 you have a pretty good chance of winning the game. Just the fact that you can get rid of all of the ongoing abilities in your hand and deck, so things like Red Skull, Typhoid Mary, Ebony Maw, even actually Call Obsidian. You can get rid of those negative abilities that hinder them and make them help your opponent or hinder yourself. So again, Sauron on 3 is ideal. You can possibly get him on 4 and still be okay, but obviously having him on 3 is kind of the nuts. That's what you want. Shuri here is our gal. She wants to be played to either pump up the Call Obsidian, to pump up, you can make Call Obsidian 20 power, you can make Typhoid Mary 20 power, you can make your Vision 16 power. A movable 16 power is arguably probably better than just a static 20 or 28 power. And then obviously Red Skull you can make 28 power. So ideally, player on turn 4, that's what you would want. And then in turn 6, you probably want a Taskmaster and like Ghost Spider or something along those lines. Enchantress is just here for tech, so it can actually provide help in terms of getting rid of the abilities on your Typhoid Mary and your Red Skull. And then on top of that, you can also just use it for attacks on your opponent's cards. such like if they're running Tribunal, you know, you got Iron Man, all those ongoing cards. So this is here to protect or to actually get rid of your terrible abilities on your cards, and also to attack your opponent's abilities. Depending on obviously which deck you're coming up against, you'll know whether to play this for yourself or for against the opponent. Call Obsidian is a newer card, so apologies if many of you don't have him, but Call Obsidian would be pretty huge here. You can play him in any of the lanes that you have Ghost Spider, you have Ebony Maw, or you have the Zero, so it's a great card. Also, if you have Sauron on the, or if you have Sauron, oh, actually, I forgot that he doesn't have an ongoing ability, so scratch that. I did say that before. Unfortunately, I thought, for whatever reason, I thought he had an ongoing ability that you could only play it where you have a 1-cost card, but it's just a static ability, so Sauron actually doesn't help him. But, I mean, you should have a 1-cost card on the field by turn 5 or turn 4 or turn 6, so you should be able to play him no matter what. But he's just big power, big stats, and just in case you get Shuri a little bit late and have to play Shuri on like turn 5 or something like that, so that's his best use. Then we have Typhoid Mary, of course. She's been around for a long time. Obviously, you want to have her ongoing ability negated, because all your other cards having -1 power can be a very big hindrance. So you either want to zero this, or you want to have Sauron on the board so that you get rid of that. And then Taskmaster, of course, you want to Shuri on turn 4 into something big, so whether that's Cull Obsidian, Vision, Typhoid Mary, or Red Skull, and then you can basically take that power and slap it right onto Taskmaster on turn 6. That's the ideal play. Vision, sometimes if you don't have Red Skull or Typhoid Mary or Cull Obsidian, you can slap the Vision down on the board to make it a 5/16. And again, it's a movable 5/16, so it's very hard for your opponent to shang it. And then lastly, we have Red Skull, our classic card here, making it a 5/28 with Shuri. And then obviously the classic combination would be to Shuri on turn 4, Red Skull on turn 5, and then go ahead and hit them with a big old Taskmaster as well. So you want to have obviously the Shuri and Red Skull in the armor lane, and so they can't destroy it, and then you go ahead and play Taskmaster down on the other lane. So that would be the ideal play. And like I said before, let's just go back to this card really quick. So you can use Ghost Spider to go ahead and, if you're not going to be playing Taskmaster on turn 6, you can take Ghost Spider and kind of whip out the card. Say you don't have armor on the board and you're worried that they might Shang-Chi your card, you can go ahead and Ghost Spider the Red Skull, the 28 power, to another lane, and then go ahead and play something big like Cull Obsidian, or you can play Typhoid Mary or Vision or something like that on another lane to, you know, kind of protect and try to win the match. So you can kind of play around it and mess with people's calculations and make sure that, you know, make sure you know what your opponent's playing or have an idea of what they're playing. If they have any inkling of having Shang-Chi, then you probably want to go ahead and kind of Ghost Spider it out of there. But we'll get some games in here. Again, I'll have all of their information down below so you can check them out on Twitter and any other platforms they might be on. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Again, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the matches. See you at match 1. Bye. Alright, sorry for the late start here. We got MODOK from the White Palace on turn 1. You can see everything else that's played out. They haven't played anything. It is turn 3, and we have armor over here on the Palace. Right now, I'm thinking we just Shuri Red Skull into Taskmaster, and hopefully that'll be enough to win the game. We do know that they have MODOK. That's a little unfortunate. You have to remember that Red Skull is not going to... Okay, hopefully it doesn't hit... Okay, that's all we had to hope, is that it wasn't going to hit the one thing we didn't want it to. So this will give +2 power to the enemy cards, because unfortunately we don't have the ability to adjust for that. We could just play the Vision, and then move the Vision. But I think we're going to want a Taskmaster at some point. 24 power, will that be enough? We could get 28 here, it gives them 4 extra power. I think we just want to do this. So they had our vision. Okay, that's actually pretty good for us. I think their Apocalypse is at 12, so it's not enough to win that lane. I think we just go here because we know they can't play anything here, and that's 28 power to win that. There's a chance they could still win here. I think their APOC was 12, right? Because they've only hit it once, so since they've only hit it once, the 12 will become 14, which would make it... So they have a chance they could win here if they have like another 1-cost card, but that's not going to be enough though. So they do lose, and that's enough to give us the victory. So a lot of people forget about this deck and don't think about it. So we didn't even have Sauron on the field. We actually had Red Skull's bad ability still, and we still ended up winning because they couldn't get out enough power on the board. Again, make sure you're smart with your plays here, like Taskmaster. Make sure you are thinking about the fact that he has nothing he can play here. I know we're playing against like a discard deck, so chances are they don't have like a Goliath or something that they're going to play here. But you just got to keep it in mind, like if they maybe did, they could play something here. So playing something over here where you have a guaranteed win is the best play. So I'll see you guys in match 2. Again, sorry for the late start on this one. I'll make sure I get you guys right in on match number 2. Alright, here we are for match number 2. Again, sorry for the late start on the first game, but you can see that, ooh, we're playing a top 650 player. Interesting. So, again, make sure to check out our good friend in the description. I don't want to keep butchering their name, so they did post this deck over on Twitter to give us kind of a reminder. I'm saying it's their deck because they did post it. I'm sure this deck has been around for quite some time at this point, but gotta give credit where credit is due. I think maybe the armor here might make the most sense for us. We do have Shuri into Vision. We also have Sauron, which is insane. So Sauron playing the Sauron will give us the ability to actually play this later on in the game, because normally you can't play this after turn 3, but when you get rid of the ability with Sauron, it actually still works. Or I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Its ongoing ability is you can't play cards here, so if you do play it, you'd actually still be able to play it out. I actually should have played this out on turn 1. Or I'm getting it completely wrong. Sorry, it's been a while since I played this deck. Oh my goodness. Okay, so they could possibly have Shang-Chi. We don't know what they're really running yet. Okay, so it got rid of... so it removes the abilities from all ongoing cards in your hand. So while this is the ongoing ability, since it's an ongoing card, it removes all of the ability. So this card is playable now, which is huge because it's a 9-power card right now. So we go ahead and we... obviously Shuri. I think we can probably safely snap here. So they have Darkhawk. I think we just want to play... So we're in between Vision and Typhoid Mary here on the Shuri. I think we just go for the bigger power here. And we could also just call Obsidian, Ghost Spider, and Ebony Maw on the last turn, which is pretty good.
I am Iron Man.
So they're going to Iron Man. If we got Enchantress, that would be pretty good here. Ooh. Well, now that's kind of interesting. I think if we Enchantress and just do this, we could also Ghost Spider the Typhoid Mary over here. And we could Enchantress here and Ebony Maw here. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So the Ghost Spider is going to bring the Typhoid Mary over here. Then we're going to Enchantress, get rid of the Iron Man, and slap the Ebony Maw down. I think that should be enough. Because I feel like they're going to just go here. They're probably going to just Mystique here or something along those lines. Okay, yeah, so they double down. Okay, they Mystique, which is perfectly fine. That can't be Tribunal, so there's not really much for us to worry about. The Ironheart, which doesn't matter. That's not going to matter at all. Ghost Spider the Typhoid out. Easily win that left side. Enchantress over on the Iron Man. And go ahead and steal the game. So, yeah, I mean, we had, what, 34 power there on the last turn? Which is kind of crazy. Well, not 34 power, but we moved 20 power, and then we slapped down a bunch of other power. So, yeah, they're angry about the Ghost Spider. But yeah, a really great win. We kind of haven't had an idea of what they were going to do. They did have priority, but, I mean, it was pretty obvious they were going to Mystique and pretty much give up on this lane over here. So, and the reason why they gave up here is because they were already winning the lane. So it makes sense that they tried to win this one, and they were already winning this one. But yeah, we top decked Enchantress, and that's the reason why she's in the deck. So I will see you guys in game number 3. Thank you so much for watching. See ya. All right. Here we are for game number 3. I hope you guys have enjoyed these. We've actually been drawing into Sauron a good amount. Sometimes you can play this deck and you just can't hit Sauron, and it just feels so bad that you end up just wanting to switch decks. So I'm glad that that hasn't happened too much with this deck so far. But people do forget that this deck does exist, and slapping Call Obsidian into here, and also with the Ghost Spider and Enchantress tech, it makes for a very interesting deck that can compete. Again, right now I'm in top 5,000 of ladder, so I'm not playing against bad opponents in any sense of the word. So hopefully we can still kind of pull this out. We might even just throw Ebony Maw down on the board. The one really good thing about Ebony Maw here is that we have vision, so we could still move. Ooh, this is actually really good, but now it kind of doesn't matter. If we didn't draw into Sauron, we could have just played this here, and it would have disabled the abilities, so that's good. But we obviously have Sauron now, so it makes the most sense to just play it. And that's why I played Sauron, because we could have played cards here, and then all of a sudden that got destroyed, and now we can't play cards there anymore, so could have been really bad for us. We go ahead and play Typhoid Mary down. The one nice thing about the Scorpion is that Typhoid Mary can't be killed by Shang-Chi now. That's one decent thing about it. Unfortunately, they are going to have a very cheap Abomination, because these cards are all afflicted by a power. So I believe right now it's, forget how much A-Bomb costs. He costs 5, right? He's a 5/9, so he's 2/9 at the moment. So this will probably end up being a pretty close match. They might play it right now, and so they do go ahead and play it now. And they play Sunspot. So yeah, it was a 2/9 for them. But now we can go ahead and do this, and do this. I think if we just stick with this, this might be the best chance for us to win. Things that I can think of that they would play here is just like Hulk. I can't really think of anything. They could move like everything over here and win this lane. They could just like move out of this lane and move over there. That would be kind of, we'd really have to assume that they do that. What would that be? That'd be 1, 3, 7 plus 9 is 16 power. I think they are going to do that. I have a weird feeling. Okay, they don't do that. But they still end up losing because we had more power on the tiebreaker. So we made a choice there. Unfortunately, it wasn't what I thought they were going to do. I had a feeling they were going to move everything over here and then play like Hulk on one of these lanes. But we protected ourselves in playing the Ebony Maw over here. Even if we played Ebony Maw over here, we still would have won. In my mind, this person should have just left because they should know that we have more than one card that we're going to be able to play. Especially with how many cards we had in our hand. I think we had 6 cards. So, but it was another victory. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This deck was very, very simple to use. And also on top of that was getting wins in high infinite. I consider top 5,000 to be, you know, up there. But just to let you guys know, this is a, you know, this is why I showcased this deck specifically. I know the last video was more of a fun deck, but this deck is actually competitive. So make sure to give it a try and check out our friend in the description below. Check out their socials, go give them a follow, and I will see you guys in the next video on Friday, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. This was Super Duper Ben. I will see you guys later. Bye.